on exponents, and I don't think I'm going to go into this rule today because your worksheet does not use that rule. So let's go to this one right here. Oh no, that is still a division. So I'm not going to look at this front at all. So I'll just go back and review very quickly. The rule, if you have a multiplication, and I'm going to just put, let me see what we have here. Is if you have something like this, -8 squared. Okay. So who knows what that means? What do you think, Sean?
8 times 8.
And it's a -8 times a -8. Is it going to be negative or positive?
Positive.
Very good, because it's an even exponent. So we'll have an even amount, marriage divorce rule with multiplication. So it's going to be positive, and it is 8 times 8. And you are right, it's going to be a positive 64. Now here's the difference. Okay, thank you, sweetie. Here's the difference. What if you have -8 squared? Is this extra? Oh, Sean, don't give it to me yet. I don't collect. Oh, this is the other one.
That was last week.
Okay. And in fact, I'll get this from you if you didn't get yours. Yes, sir.
Got it.
Okay, what do you think the final answer is? What do you think? What do you think?
-60.
Very good, because that 2 is not touching that negative. So this is a -8 times 8. Only the 8 is being multiplied by itself. So it is a -64. And then one last one is, what is a -8 to the third power? And I will just say 64 times 8. Let me just do the 32. That's going to be 48, 49, 50, 51. Okay. So 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. Thank you, sweetie. Okay. So what is this going to be?
Negative.
A negative, because there's 3 of them. It's the even odd rule, marriage divorce. If there's an odd amount, 2 of them can get married, 1 will not. Never. So -512. So with that said, we're going to flip over to this side. Yes. Yeah. Which one?
That one.
The third example?
Number 25.
We're not doing divisions today. That's too much. It's going to make my brain matter go all over. No, I know. So we don't want.
It's gonna explode.
It's going to explode. So with 15 minutes, we don't want our brains exploding. So we'll talk about this type tomorrow. All right. So all we're going to do today is we're going to try to finish this side. So I'm going to help you with a couple of these. So let's go down to this bottom, because now it says to evaluate, which evaluate, let me see if I can focus this any better. Okay. Evaluate means put in that number. Let me look at our time again, because maybe we wouldn't even have time for that. Yes, I think we will. Okay. So this time, when I'm doing this one, we'll try to do it here, is I'm going to substitute a -10 where that X is. That -10 has nothing to do with that negative sign. So here's how I'm going to actually make a bracket instead. Okay. I'm going to put a negative, because this negative has to go there. And then I'm going to put, oh, this is a good one. I'm going to put that -10, and if you need another sheet of paper, you can grab one over there if you think you don't have enough room, because you have to write tiny. All right. Then I'm going to put that -10 where the X is, and then the whole entire thing squared. So I'm not going to solve it just yet. So everybody should have written that, because if you just have an answer, you're not going to get credit. All right. Yeah, it might help you to have paper. Okay. And so I'm going to go right below, and right now I'm just substituting. So this negative has nothing to do with that negative. So I'm going to put a negative, I'm going to put a parentheses for that X, and I'm going to put a little exponent 2. And then what's the value of the x?
Negative.
A negative 10. And let's not worry about anything just yet. Okay. Let's go down. This one's probably the easiest because it has no negatives. Okay. So I'm going to put 2 parentheses. I'm going to put 1 for my x. I'm going to put 1 for my y. And I have a feeling I am going to need paper. So what is the value? Yes, sir. What did you need? Here, you try to do the best you can with that. What's the value of the x? Negative 10. Okay. What's the value of the y? Negative 3. Okay. All right. And then let's go down one more. Let's put in some values and then we'll go ahead and solve it. And then I'm going to probably give you the assignment. So this one here is that negative has nothing to do with that x. So I'm going to put a negative x cubed, okay, times my y. And you especially need this, special when you've got all those negatives. So what am I going to put for the value of the x? Negative 10. Good job. What am I going to put for the value of the y? A negative 3. Good job. All right. So now let's go down and solve some of these. Why are they doing that? Do I not have the right time? Didn't I show you guys the schedule?
Yeah.
We get out of here at 10:05?
Yeah.
Okay, then why are they banging on the door? Hold on a second. It is not time to leave. Okay, excuse me. It is not time.
It is time to leave.
Yeah, Mr. Coach Walsh said that we go here.
Okay, no, we're here until 10:05.
He said we end at 9:37.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
9:37 is when the church ended. Now we're in 7th here, now 7. You come here after. You come here at 10:20. Goodbye. Go show me the schedule. Here, go, where do we do? You go back to 10:20. Okay. Okay. So here we go. So now let's go back to this one. You go from the inside out. What happens with a negative times a negative?
Positive.
It becomes a positive. And so it's our whole result after that's being squared. So negative, negative. And then what does 10 times 10 mean?
100.
It means 100, and I better have an answer 100. So now it's a positive 10. 10 times 10 is 100. We'll see. It's not going to be the whole thing. So just let's quiet down. So now let's look at this one. Who knows now they need to.
I'm kidding. Remember when we went to go out the 8th grade and we came back and acted like nothing happened? Deja vu. Deja vu. I'm getting deja vu from this. I know. Coach Cambridge.
Walk back.
No, he said,
I bet he does that.
Shut your traps.
I'm getting deja vu from this.
I bet he does that.
Anyway.
Like his neighbors probably playing loud music.
Can you please shut up? My family are trying to sleep.
Okay. All right, hold on one second. So now here, it's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please is parentheses. I go inside these parentheses. There's nothing to do. Excuse exponents. What am I going to do first, this negative or the exponent? The exponent. So I'm going to leave this negative alone. And it's negative. By the way, who knows? I'm going to cover this up. Who knows, is that going to be a negative 100 or a positive 100?
Negative.
Well, hold on a second. I'm not looking at this negative here. Just with the exponent. What's negative 10? What's negative 10 squared? Positive. So that's going to be a positive 100. And then finally, because of that negative, What's our final answer?
Negative
Negative 100. I'm just going to leave it like this because I don't have room to rewrite it. And by the way, that first one, that 100 is N. Okay. It is N. The next one is O, right here. And then, who has an idea? Let me see if you can tell me. Who has an idea on this one? I'm going to challenge you a little bit as to what the final sign is going to be. Negative. Woohoo! How did you know that?
I did not guess.
Okay, don't guess. Because I'm going to say, how did you know that? I don't want to hear, I guess. Because isn't this one here an even? So this is going to be positive. But what's left is this negative. So it's going to be a negative in the end. So first of all, I'm going to put it up here. Negative 10. What is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3? 81. It is 81 because 3 times 3 is 9. Another 3 times 3 is 9. So it's going to be negative 10 times a positive 81. What is that final answer?
He was chilling.
Okay, what's the answer? What's 10 times 81?
810.
810. So it's going to be a negative 810. Is that answer down there?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So this like has for number
Okay, don't worry about any other number except what we're on right now, because then that means you're worrying too much. So let's go on to this one. Who thinks they know what this final sign is going to be?
positive.
Negative.
It's going to be what?
Positive.
And why is it going to be positive?
Because there's exponents for me. There's gonna be another.
But there's going to be another negative. So he's absolutely right. Yeah. So 3 would be negative, but then this negative times that negative is going to be a positive. So this one here, and I'll use all the room down here that I can. So this, oh, but wait a second. Oh, you know what? I kind of messed up because I forgot about this negative. So I'm going to leave this negative alone. I'm going to leave this negative on the outside alone. So I'm going to bring it down here. And how many negative 10s is that? 3 of them. So this is actually a negative 10 times a negative 10 times a negative 10. Okay. And then it's also then times a what? Times a negative 3. And you're right, it would have been positive had I not had this negative in the front, and I didn't see that myself. So it's going to end up, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, odd amount. It is automatically negative. And then let's do 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. 1,000 times 3 is 3,000. And all, by the way, all those answers should be down in this. And you're right, it's a negative. So that's going to be the letter H. Alrighty. And then let's go ahead and do a few of these. All right, so on this one, this is going to be negative 4 times what? What are we going to put where that y is?
Negative 3.
A negative 3. And in fact, that's a good idea. Go ahead and unstack it because we have to write it 2 times. And then we can get right to our answer. Who knows the sign? Negative. Well, it's an odd amount. And then 9 times 4? 36. So negative 36. Good job. And again, that answer should be down here. And then, so this time, that negative, does that negative have anything to do with the square? No. Alrighty. And so this is going to be 4 times, what is that y value?
Negative 3.
So I'm going to put that negative 3 here, and that once I multiply that, then we're going to square the whole thing. Okay. So I'm going to come down here so I can show a little bit of work. So this negative has nothing to do with anything, so negative What's negative 3 times 4?
Negative 12.
What kind of 12?
Negative 12.
So it's a negative 12, and it is squared. But now, I'm going to cover up this negative in front. What's negative 12 squared? Is it going to be, okay, forget about this first negative. I'm covering it up right now. What's negative 12 times negative 12? 144. Tennyson, focus. So it's 144, but now I've got to apply this negative. My final answer is what? Negative 144. So it is negative 144. Okay. Alrighty. Then we'll finish up this last thing, and then I'll tell you what to do. All right. So what do we write down first? The negative, and I'm going to put a parentheses because of all these negatives, and then I have to put you're right, the negative 10. And then how many negative 3s am I going to have? 3 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and unstack it right here. Okay. Let's take care of the sign first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. Your final answer is going to be negative or positive. Good job. It's an odd amount. These two will get married, those two will get married, but that one's left. So it's negative. And then I'm going to sort of go backwards. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. 27 times 10 is?
270.
Yeah, you just tack on a 0. It's 270. Okay. And so that gets the letter N. Did I do something wrong? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so it's the letter N. And one more for this section. So I'm going to put my parentheses just because I should. Minus, now it's very important, how many Y's am I going to have? So I'm going to put that minus has nothing to do with that negative 3. So it's a negative 3 times a negative 3 times a negative 3. Then I can't just count negative signs on this one because of that minus. So on this one, I'm going to bring down my negative 10. I'm going to put minus. Okay. And then I'm going to get the result of this. What's negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3?
Negative.
Very good. It's a negative 27. So I'm going to put it right here, negative 27. So there's a little bit of work on here. You can't just get your answer. Now, look at this carefully. Who knows the next thing we should do?
Subtract.
Can't yet. When you got double negatives, what should you change them to?
Positive.
You change them to a positive. They get married, negative right next to a negative. And now, then you go, we don't add or subtract with integers. It's same sign sum. Are these the same sign?
No.
No, so we're not going to sum. We're going to take the difference. What's the difference between 27 and 10?
17.
It's 17. And are there more positives or negatives?
Negative.
People?
Positive.
There's more positives. And positive 17, and that gets the letter C. I feel like I'm missing something.
I know. It's
Oh, okay, I didn't put this answer down. Right here, 144. It goes right here.
ice cream cone.
Well, we'll find out. So,
Ice cream cone.
what I'm going to have you do, girls and boys, just to make life easy, you're just going to do this one section up here, set 2. That's it. So that's it. You can start it right now. We have about, we don't have a lot of time. We have about 3 or 4 minutes, but you can get some of those done. Yes, sir. Just this one set right here.
So, for G,
No, there's no work to show on that one. There's no work to show on I. There's no work to show on W.